Hey guys, it's me, Jake, from JakeMan21642. Thought I would do a little test drive video for you today, taking the daily driver, the 2012 S60 T6, to the car wash, because we got a little bit of snow here the other day. It's been absolutely crazy this year with the amount of snow we have had here. I mean, I'd say it's only January, and I'd say we've probably already had twice the amount of snow we usually have. But took this thing on its first road trip the other night, went to a concert in Charlottesville with a friend of mine, and snowed all the way there and all the way back, and they had salted the highways really bad up there in the mountains and coming back on I-64. So this car is completely trashed right now. I'll try to slide a picture into the video if I get a chance, but it's silver, so it hides it pretty well, but it's still driving me crazy, and I can't wait to just wash it at work tomorrow. So running up to the car wash, thought I would do a test drive of the car because I've only done one so far that I inserted at the back of a video, and it was just one where I didn't talk. I'll try to do another video where I don't talk, because personally when I'm looking up test drive videos on YouTube, I just want to see the car drive. I don't care about what anyone has to say. I just want to see how the car drives. But I thought I'd give some driving impressions. I've done about 4,000 miles with the car so far, so I thought I'd just tell you guys what I think, what I like, what I don't like. I'll already say this right now, my complaints are very minimal with this car. So for those of you who haven't followed my channel for a while, or aren't really familiar with what I've had before this vehicle, I traded a 2003 Honda Accord EXL 5-speed on this. I have a 1990 Volvo 240 and a 71 Beetle right now also. I also had, before the Accord, I had a Civic Si, an 02 Civic Si, a 93 Accord, and a 94 Saturn. So this is definitely a huge upgrade from everything else I've owned. So far, I love it. I really do. I have no complaints. The power is amazing. The all-wheel drive is great. I never thought I would own an all-wheel drive vehicle, but after having this, I completely understand the appeal. Especially when it snows. Every time it snowed here, granted it's Virginia, we'll get like 4 or 5 inches of snow at the most, but every time it snowed so far and I've had this car, I literally just brushed the snow off, got in, put it in drive, drove off, had no problem at all. But the car's been amazing. It's been a great daily driver so far. The first thing I'll have to say, and I'm sure a lot of my friends remember this from when I was car shopping, is really the only thing I cared about initially to begin with was I still wanted a manual transmission. And I wasn't really looking at these because I didn't think they would be in my price range. I really had not been paying attention to the lot at work because I was in the middle of the semester with school, and I did not realize just how much this car had been marked down. But going back to an automatic and a daily driver, I really enjoy it, actually. I live in a city, I do a lot of city driving, I do a lot of highway commuting, but it's rush hour commuting with traffic going to and from every day. So it's really nice to be lazy. It's really nice to just get in the car, put it in drive, go, not think about it. I'll definitely own another manual transmission vehicle, but honestly, I don't know if I could daily drive a manual again. It just... The Accord was killing me, and the fact, too, that on my Accord, that was the part that gave me the most trouble the entire time I owned the car, was clutch issues, which then ended up in the end being transmission issues. I really do enjoy this. I'm not upset it doesn't have paddles. I wouldn't use them if it had it. I rarely ever use the sport mode or the manual mode. It's an automatic, put it in drive, go. This has been a very responsive transmission, too. Really, I know this is probably going to be the most used phrase in the video, but no complaints about it. I can definitely see why they went to the 2-liter twin charge in the 8-speed automatic. So far with this car, I did a road trip the other night. I'm about 180 miles in, and I've used just under half a tank of gas. And so far, I'm averaging right now 19.8, which that is a lot of city driving still, but that's definitely the thing with this car. I'd say the best I've gotten so far with about all highway driving is about 23, 24. City driving, you can expect a solid 20. That 19.8 is definitely a lot for me driving like an idiot in the snow, which is kind of hard to do when you have something this fun. But, I mean, it's a 3,800 pound, 6-cylinder all-wheel drive car. You can only expect but so much from it. when it comes to fuel economy and all that. That's definitely the reason the T5 does exist. I just love that sound. I forgot just how good the 6-cylinder models sound. I do wish it had a little bit more noise, and they make exhausts and you can do resonator deletes and all of that. But I'm so used to Hondas where you hear every single noise in the car. It's so nice just having this smooth 6-cylinder quiet ride. I've really come to appreciate, but I get in the ones now at work. I like the 5 cylinders a lot, and I still do love the Drive-E engines. They drive great, they're fantastic. It really is nice. You can tell the difference not having that much weight over the front wheels. But I get in the Drive-E ones after owning this, and it's just, you punch it and you don't get that beautiful 6-cylinder engine note is just gone, which I love so much about this car. Steering, it's fantastic. I just leave it in the medium normal mode all the time. Since this is the older T6, it does still have hydraulic steering. It really does feel great. It's got that nice hydraulic response to it. But since it's a modern car, you really get a lot of the nicer parts about that too, where it doesn't fight the crown in the road or follow every little groove in the road. It's just really smooth, nice steering. Another thing I have to say is definitely after the first road trip I took with this car is the ride quality. So the first thing everyone that rides in this car says is just how comfortable it is, seat-wise and interior quality-wise and all of that. The ride to me is a little more harsh than what I'm used to, but I'm also coming from a 4-cylinder Accord to something like this with 18-inch wheels and definitely a little bit more sportier suspension. But this definitely makes me glad, because the other cars I was looking at when I was shopping was a Ford Fiesta ST. I really wanted a Fiesta ST so bad, or I probably would have ended up with like a Mark 6 GTI or GLI. I'm really glad I ended up with this, because this is about as harsh of a ride quality as I could take daily driving with the way the roads are around this city. I'm really glad too, and I know everyone's going to think I'm saying this because I don't have it, but I'm glad I don't have the R design either with the harsher suspension, because this really is about as much as I could take for harsh day-to-day driving. But on the highway, it's smooth, it goes, it's nice. It's just definitely, like I said, a little more harsh than what I'm used to, but that's just European cars in general versus Japanese cars. And with the way this thing handles, you really can't complain, because you can carry a crazy amount of speed into a corner with this car, and the all-wheel drive system definitely does make a difference with that too. Also, I don't know if anyone has noticed, but I did take the key out of the slot for this video. My car doesn't have the technology package, so you do have to insert the key to start it, which is fine with me. I actually prefer that because it helps my OCD with keeping better track of my keys. But I did remove it for this video because they I noticed in the last one, were rattling around sitting there. And I had some complaints about that in the comments. It usually doesn't bother me, because when I'm driving this car, I've usually got the stereo cranked anyway. But don't know how much of a rambly video this is. Impressions are, I love this car. I know I keep saying it, but it still feels crazy that something like this is mine, because, I mean, a year ago, if you had asked if I'd owned something like this, I would have laughed at you, and I'll still swear by this. But I love the car. I love every moment I've spent with it. I can't wait for the amount of trips and things like that I'm going to get to do with it. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Any questions, comments, anything like that, drop them down below. I definitely will say, if you're someone my age and you're looking to get a nicer, newer car, and you're in the $15,000 to $17,000 range, and you want something that's 300 horsepower, all-wheel drive, comfortable to drive, easy to drive, great amount of features, I would definitely take a look at one of these. Even a T5 model, you will still be impressed. I drive the T5s all the time at work. I still love them, but there's just something about these 6-cylinder models that I absolutely love. But as always, guys, gonna go ahead and get the car cleaned up, wait for this guy to finish cleaning his Genesis, and let me know what you want to see on the car. Thanks for watching.